Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to Mystic Temple Spirituality for a New Age. I'm Monica Bay, also known as the Divine Mother, and I am here to bring you truth. So, welcome to the Sunday Divinity Sessions. Remember, we are having this every Sunday live now before they were pre recorded. This is Divinity Session number 82. We've done 80 Divinity Sessions already. I mean, 82, 81 so far. And this is 82 Divinity Sessions already. And we are just getting started because the book of Rasheeda is still being written. Okay. And so, as you know, if you are new here, in these divinity sessions here at Mystic Temple, what I do is break down the next passage in order from the book of Rasheeda. And just so you know, as a precursor to all of this, again, if you're new, the book of Rasheeda is a sacred text that is being written through me by a collective consciousness called the Cosmic Collective Consciousness. And they take over my body and literally write these passages. And they they tend to be quite cryptic, and they are layered and layered and layered with meanings. And today is no different because today is a very, very cryptic passage, but it is layered with so many meanings and so much meaning and such a powerful, powerful message. So we're going to jump into the passage for today, and it is as follows. The eye of the forest is not of what they think, it is not who they think. It is always watching, yet never intervening, seeing all, observing all, never judging. All right, so there's a lot packed in with that passage. So this is a very, very important passage in the book of Rasheeda, in fact. And as I was diving into it more, because this was written in 2024, and I think I was in Colombia at the time when they took over my body and just started writing this passage. And this this particular passage um, it is really one of the core, I think, one of the core messages of the book of Rasheeda. So let's break it down for a minute. So the eye of the forest is not of what they think. It is not who they think. So first of all, let's break down what they mean by the forest and what is the eye of the forest. In order to understand the rest, we really have to understand the forest itself. So they're using the forest as a metaphor. When you think of a forest, the forest is an ecosystem. The forest is an intelligent ecosystem. It is an intelligent ecosystem that has a lot of interconnectedness, seen and unseen, going on. Some of you may not know, but trees in a forest actually communicate with each other through intricate root systems, and they actually communicate through those root systems. And so there's a lot going on under the scenes, underneath, and then there's also a lot going on the surface in the forest. And so the forest can be a scary place. It can be a beautiful place. It can be a healing place. It can be a dangerous place. This forest that they're referring to is a metaphor for the world, for this reality that we're living in, this illusionary reality that we're in. But it's also a metaphor for our lives, all the different things that are going on that are interconnected. It's also, so like I said, there's layers. It's also a metaphor for the interconnectedness of us as beings of light. Okay. Now let's break down what the I in that forest is. The I in the forest they're referring to is divinity itself, it is awareness itself. And who is that I? That I is us. Okay. When they said it is not who you think, it is not what you think, of what you think. They're referring to the concept of God. So in this forest, in this again, the forest being the metaphor of the world and of this illusionary reality that we live in, and all the intricate things that are going on in this reality. The the concept of the eye watching, right? It says it's watching. Um, we, not we, but many people think, and this is why the book of Rasheeda is coming back here to give the truth again, is many people think of God as this thing outside of ourselves. And we talk about that a lot here at Mystic Temple, debunking all of that. But this passage, this is why I say this passage is one of the core, I think one of the core teachings of the book of Rasheeda, is because it is really telling you that there is no God above watching and judging. I'm going to read that part again where it says, it is always watching, yet never intervening, seeing, observing, never judging, the eye of the forest. So, the eye of the forest, again, being awareness itself, being divinity itself, being existence itself. It is watching, not intervening, never judging. We are brought up in our society because of religion, and you know how I feel about organized religion. Because of religion, we are taught, and it's really, really embedded in our society. We are really, really taught that there's good and bad, that we should be ashamed when we do something, that is considered bad, or we should always do certain things this way, or if we don't do this, we're going to be punished, or we're going to be judged, and so on and so forth. That is a form of social control. And that is exactly why it is there. Because as we know, in the first passage of the book of Rashida explains that the that uh, knowledge has been given to us throughout history, throughout millennia. Now, the real knowledge, truth, has been given to us. And then what happens? Humans, man and women, humans come and they tweak it and they say, "Oh, how can I get this to control people? Oh, how can I use this for my own benefit?" And so on and so forth. And that's where we get religion today. Lies over time become truth. But every religion has truth within it. It's just the lies on top of it that thwart us and skew us and force us to see things incorrectly in life. And this passage is about how to see things correctly. The forest, the eye of the forest, is not judging you. It is not even intervening. So for them, I've heard many people. I'm gonna just give you guys an example. I've heard many people say this to me. They've come to me and have said, "Why would God let this happen to me? Why would God blah blah blah? Why would this happen to me if there?" And I'm like, because there's not a God. Hello. There's not. And the reality is in that context, right? I always tell you guys that you are God. That is the truth. The concept that we have of God, which is why you very rarely hear me use the word God unless I'm referring to you. Okay? Because the concept of God that we learn and that we just have in our subconscious because we're programmed for that, that word immediately makes us think of something outside of ourselves. And some type of savior that's supposed to come in. It's either judging us or it's saving us, right? And why would it let something happen? It's not a who. And this is exactly what the passage is saying. It says, it is not who they think. It is not who you think. It isn't a who at all. Because in fact, it's you. You are the I. You are the eye of the forest. You are the observer in your life. You are the observer and the controller, okay, of your entire world and this entire world. We are all equally the eye in the forest. So there's living complexity everywhere. And when I want to just piggyback back on the concept of God being over us and in charge of everything and supposed to be there to save us and stop things from happening. It's important that you understand that that doesn't really exist, because the idea of that and the acceptance of that idea that there's a savior out there, that puts you in victim mode. It puts you in a powerless state and saying something is more powerful over you. And therefore, let me just put all of my trust and faith in that thing and not in myself. And therefore, I absolve myself of all things. And that is really what people do with religion: absolve yourself of all things, absolve yourself of all responsibility. And the reality is, and what one of these things that this passage is saying is, we have to take responsibility. We have to take responsibility for our lives. We are the eye of the forest, but it's not about judging, because it says the eye does not judge. So we're talking, when they're talking about the eye, they're referring to the divine itself and awareness itself, but also us as the eye. And when you look at it in both ways, us as the eye, also we should not be judging ourselves, nor should we be judging others, because understanding that we are here to observe, to experience, and to live. Okay. And then as far as the any kind of God force that is there over us, that is judging, that is punishing, that is intervening and doing all those things, that doesn't exist. And it's important that you also understand, with that knowledge, there really is no right or wrong. Understand that. And I know that's an unpopular opinion, but again, like I always say, I don't care, because it's the truth. I'm here to share the truth, not what people feel comfortable with. The reality is, there is no right or wrong. Right or wrong is perception. You've been trained to believe that there's everything's black and white. It's either right or it's wrong. Everything just is. Everything just is. It's how we choose to color that light, which we talked about in another divinity session. It's how we choose to color that light, how we choose to see something. But everything is interconnected. And just like in a forest, you have a lot of things going on in a forest. You have things eating each other. But it is a cycle of life. Now, is another bug eating another bug bad? Is is that if it's all in your perception. So understand that the things that happen in this world are all interconnected, and the things that go on, whether it is enjoyable, because the things that we find unenjoyable we think are bad, the things that we find enjoyable we think are good. That is our perspective, because we don't want to suffer, and we are made to avoid suffering. So that's normal. But the understanding of the fact that everything just is allows you to also not take things so personally, which I also talk to you guys a lot about, which also helps to limit human suffering when you start to take everything personally. So how do you look at these teachings and see how this affects your actual everyday life and how you move through life? Well, when you are in a situation and someone has betrayed you, or someone has done something to you, something bad, right? Something that we feel is bad because we don't like it, because it feels bad for us. It doesn't feel good, right? It's not enjoyable. Well, in those circumstances, you should be asking yourself again, what is the lesson here? Why is this here? Because everything is interconnected, just like a forest and just like the trees. Everything that happens in a forest affects the entire ecosystem. And we too, as humans on this earth and animals on this earth, are part of an ecosystem, an interconnected ecosystem. So, how can we make sure that we understand that we are a part of that ecosystem, also that we are the ecosystem itself, and also that we are the eye in the ecosystem that is observing the ecosystem, observing everything that's happening. So when you're able to step outside of your personal emotions and see things as on a grander scale, to be able to know that this is happening in your life for a reason, and also trusting the ecosystem. So when I said earlier about not putting everything to some fictional god that's out there judging or and saving, being your savior and stuff like that, it's it's also an understanding that as part of the ecosystem, as part of this entire interconnected reality, we have the ability to see those things, to not judge those things, to not be judged by those things, and be able to live our lives properly and happily. Not happy all the time. Well, we can be happy all the time, but you know what I mean. We realize that there is suffering. Okay, we can do all that and not have to feel like something else is going to save us, because we can save ourselves, and we can trust in the intelligence. The forest has an intelligence, as I said earlier. We can trust in the intelligence of this fabric of reality and the life that we have chosen to incarnate into. That is the trust, that is the faith in the fact that everything is already orchestrated to work in a very well organized system. And we are part of that system. And even our interconnections with other people are part of that system. These are soul contracts. So all of these things happen as they are supposed to happen. And we have opportunities. Everything that happens brings us an opportunity for growth, brings us an opportunity to learn and grow and listen to our higher selves, because that is what actually should be running our reality. So also, I want to, since we're doing this live now, if you guys have any questions in the chat, you can ask any questions and I can answer them, because I know this particular passage is so deep and it has so many different layers to it, and I want to make sure that you guys have a good understanding of it. So definitely, if you have any questions, simply ask. But another thing about the forest is that it is ancient and timeless. So when we're talking about divinity, you are divine. We all know this. We've told you this a bunch of times. And if you're new, now you know. Okay? You are divine. You are divinity itself. You are also the eye in the forest, as it says. And if the eye in the forest is divinity itself, then that is also you. And it is also ancient and timeless. So again, I've told you guys a bunch of times, you have all the answers inside of you. Your soul knows everything. Your soul itself is ancient and timeless. Ancient and timeless, meaning knowledgeable, right? Knowing all things, carrying all things, being able to see all things. If you allow yourself to be able to see, if you allow yourself the time and the effort to see and to not judge your life and to not judge the lives of others. Let's get into not judging the lives of others for a second because we're always there sipping our tea, okay, judging everybody, right? But remember, everyone is on their own path. And I always teach you guys not to judge other people. And it's sometimes difficult to not judge people because that's kind of natural to us, especially in the society that we live in right now. And can you expound on what you said about not allowing other people to judge you? Okay, so yes, I'll jump into that actually right now. Not allowing other people to judge you. So again, if someone is so what we are taught, I'm gonna backtrack. What we're taught a lot of times is guilt. When we do something that we're not proud of, when we do something that um, we wish we didn't do, or we do something that was authentic to us, but because of other people's opinions, we feel like we shouldn't have done that. We tend to start feeling guilty, and guilt is a dangerous quicksand. Guilt is a very, very dangerous quicksand. So, not allowing other people to judge you is not is really about not taking in. People can judge you all they want. Let me just say that people will do what they're going to do. Okay, they can do what they're going to do, but the act of judging doesn't need to affect you. So when I say not allowing other people to judge you, I'm referring to your reaction to other people's judgments, but also standing up for yourself in that judgment. But not allowing that guilt to set in, not allowing things to create negativity inside of you, because again, that's a quicksand. Guilt begets self-deprecation. Okay, I'm gonna say that again. Guilt begets self-deprecation, and self-deprecation is not good. Self-deprecation creates unworthiness. Self-deprecation creates self-sabotage. Self-deprecation creates a wayward path. Okay, self-deprecation creates powerlessness. It creates a lot of things. So guilt is a very, very bad, bad thing. When I say things aren't good or bad, I say that's bad. But no, things really aren't good or bad. But that is a thing that really, really takes you off your path. Okay. So one of the things I'm just going to use religion as an example in this, because that's a huge example of things that actually uh, really harm people. So I've had a lot of people come to me to get away from or to be deprogrammed from Catholicism. Okay. I'm just going to talk about it. Catholicism is one of the most toxic religions that exist. And I don't care how unpopular that is. Catholicism is one of the most toxic religions that exist. Why? Because they teach and preach guilt, shame. Everything is just, I am just the lowest human being ever, and I have to repent for it is one of the worst. And when I have to help people get out of Catholic thinking, it's like taking someone out of a cult. I kid you not. The same processes that people go through to deprogram people from all these crazy cults out there is the same process you have to go through with people who were brought up Catholic, because they were brought up with such a self-deprecating ideology and self-deprecating view of themselves and humanity. It's really, really bad. I mean, it is horrible. So when, so like that's just an example. Don't let people judge you. To your question, Gordon. That's just an example. Like how self-deprecation is really, really bad, and it takes years to get people deprogrammed from Catholicism. And I know many people, and some of you may be watching, who are like, "Yep, grew up Catholic. I'm still working myself out of it," because it is. I mean, it is. I can't even explain how crazy it is. I mean, like out of every religion out there, that unless there's some religions that I'm not aware of, there's a bunch of them. But out of every religion out there, I know most religions. It is definitely, I would give it the prize for the worst religion in terms of your spirit and your soul and your human experience and being able to see your own divinity, and just does a number on you. It just really, really does a number on you. And I've had to heal so many people from it, doing energy healing, doing hypnosis to help deprogram people. I mean, it's been crazy. And by the way, I just want to also mention, um, I wasn't prepared to mention this, but I'm receiving that I should mention it now since I'm talking about that. We will actually be having a program that we're going to be putting out to help deprogram people from religion. So I will let you guys know once that is out. Our light guardian Dominic is going to be leading that. Um, and we're definitely, this is part of our global awakening. I'm not playing here. We are not playing. We really need to awaken people and bring back the truth and get the deprogramming done and get people out of these powerless mindsets, okay, and get people back to the truth of their own divinity and their own power. So that is coming in the short term. I will announce to you guys when that program is ready, but it's coming. All right. So so if you are a person who is still struggling from your exit from a toxic religion, or just an exit from a religion, period, whether you see it as toxic or not. If you are a person who is currently transitioning from that, know that we are here to help you. We have something for you. It's coming, and we will let you know once that comes. Yes, so everyone can stand in their God forms. Exactly. Exactly. So back to the message. All right. So where are we? Yeah. So in the process of not judging others, being the eye of the forest is also about being able to see that everyone is living their lives, being able to allow people to live their lives. You are not supposed to fix everyone, okay? You are not here to fix everyone. And if you get into this, again, this falls into every aspect of your life because the forest is life itself, it is reality itself, it is also your personal life and the different ecosystems within your personal life, your relationships, your career, your relationship with yourself. All of these different things are ecosystems, and you need to be the eye of the forest who is awareness itself, who is non-judging, who is non-intervening at times, right? So in our personal lives, of course, we need to intervene in things, right? We need to take actions, but we're not always supposed to intervene in every single thing, right? And that's why I always say follow in here. If you are following your inner compass, then you will never be led wrong. You will always know when it's time to take action, when it's time to step back and allow, when it's time to be in flow, when it's time to steer those oars, when it's time to drive. You'll know those things because you'll be guided towards those things because you always have that guide with you. But if you are if you are trying to control every single thing in your life, then you're missing the point. You're missing the point, and you're not allowing the intelligence of the forest ecosystem in that metaphor to to be what it is and to guide you. And this is also why it's important not to stress out about things so much, not to sit there and like everything has to go for, you control freaks out there, cut it out. Okay. um, and I used to be not a control freak, but I don't know. But I used to be more controlling than I am. We'll just say that. But but we all like to be in control. We get that. But there's a balance. Again, everything in life has to be balanced. Every single thing in life has to be balanced. Let me answer a question real quick. Sharisa says, when you spoke on the existence and non-existence of God, how do you give gratitude for universal creation? Or is there an understanding that when we give to the altar of self, weren't showing? I'm not sure. There's a little typo there, but I think I understand what you're saying. Um, so yes, the reality is no, you don't. First of all, you should not be praying to anything outside of yourself. You shouldn't be. You can understand the existence of energies. You can understand and accept the existence of, again, the forest, the ecosystem, all the little things in the ecosystem. They exist, okay, but there is no force standing over you, judging you, telling you what to do, intervening and saving your life, and so on and so forth. It is all you. Everything is you, and everything comes from within. So when you are at your altar, yes, you're at the altar of self. At the end of the day, everything is self. Everything is self. And that is the concept of oneness that the book of Rasheeda talks a lot about as well. Everything at the end of the day is self. And so it's really about understanding you are the I. You are divinity itself. You are awareness itself. You are divinity experiencing itself. We all are divinity experiencing itself. So the gratitude is for the experience, the gratitude is for the existence of you and the existence of all that is, which is also you. So I hope that made sense. So I know it can kind of sometimes sound like talking in circles a little bit, but that's the circle of life. That is reality. We live in a very complex reality, and that is why they use the forest as the metaphor. The forest is not a simple plain. It's not a simple meadow. A forest is a very complex ecosystem. That's exactly why they use the forest in this particular passage. All right. So just a second. I have a lot of notes on this because there's just so much, like I had to really, really do a lot more channeling to make sure that everything. Okay. So, yes. So it's important that when we're talking about not having shame, we'll go back to shame and back to not judging yourself. Okay. Not judging yourself. So not allowing um, everything that happens that maybe you did wrong to make you feel shameful and to also feel like you're also for you to feel like you're going to be punished. Okay, good. Sharita got that. All right, thank you. Good. I'm glad that made sense. um, you're never going to be punished for the things that you do. I want you guys to understand that. There is no punishment because there is no force standing over you saying, "Hey, you did this, you did," because there is no right and wrong there. Everything just is. And I'm going to use an example. You guys, every single person watching this, myself included, has been the villain in someone's story. Every single one of you, whether you know it or not, you have been, I guarantee you, you have been the villain in someone's story. But guess what? You've also been the angel in someone's story. You have also been the savior in someone's story. Was the villain part of you, or that villain aspect or perspective in someone else's story, was that a good thing or a bad thing? You may think, oh, I was a villain in that story, I was a bad thing. But when you think about how everything happens for a reason, and when you think about how even the obstacles in our path and the negative things that happen in our path afford someone the opportunity for growth, for learning, and also for becoming who they need to become. Because when you think about every bad thing that's happened in your life, they have all happened to bring you to the point that you are now. Whether you like them or not, they brought you to who you are now. They led you to certain decisions. Your reactions to those experiences led you to who you are today. You are a sum of your experiences. So when we have soul contracts and we're providing someone an experience, sometimes that experience, whether we want to or not, some of that experience, it could be very unintentional, but some of that experience um, that's negative is still providing them. Some of that experience is negative, and it's providing them that opportunity for growth. Vice versa, someone's the villain in your story, and they and they're providing you an opportunity at that point. There's an interconnected soul contract that's happening that's saying, hey, I'm here to give you this experience. You're not going to like it, but if you make the right reactions to those experiences, you're going to be much better off afterwards, right? So again, not judging, and I know this is difficult. Okay, I know this is difficult, but not judging yourself for the things that you may have done in the past. We all work to be better people. We all work to be, in our view, a better person, because intrinsically, as human beings, we know what is a good thing for us to do in that moment and what's a bad thing for us to do in that moment. If you feel bad about doing what you're doing, stop doing it. Period, because that's your soul saying, this isn't really what we're here for. Okay, this isn't really what we're supposed to do. But a lot of times when we do something and we are the villain in someone's story, it is something completely unintentional on our part. And maybe it was intentional in the moment, and you both grew from that or had the opportunity to grow from that. Because sometimes when we are purposely the villain in someone else's story, well, I would say all the time, every time that we are purposely the villain in someone else's story, it's because of something inside of us that needs healing. Okay? Hurt people, and that's a fact. So anytime if you're out here, randomly cursing people, you're out here randomly doing, mean things to people, you need to look at yourself and you need to heal because that's what's going on. And that's not a judgment, that's a fact. Okay? That's not about judging. It's a fact. It's reality. And this is what we do here at Mystic Temple is we look at ourselves in the mirror in reality. We don't wish and hope and say, this is who we are. No, who are you really? What's really going on? What are you contributing to this world? Are you contributing more pain and suffering, or are you contributing love and happiness and teaching and furthering people, furthering yourself? If you are doing the opposite of that, if you are not helping, then you are hurting. And again, some of that hurt is actually supposed to be happening too. But if you are doing it intentionally, then that means that there are things that need to heal inside of you, and you need to really focus on that healing. And that is really, if the world did not have greed, did not have pain, did not have trauma, and and did not have superior feelings of superiority, we would be living in a completely different world. Think about that. Those are the things that create the world the way that they are right now, with all the chaos and stuff like that. So as we focus more on understanding and the awareness, being the eye in the forest, and understanding who we really are, understanding why we are moving the way we're moving, that is key to helping this world become a better place. Now, will this world ever be 100% perfect with no problems? No, because this is an ecosystem. And that is not how this reality was built. This reality was built with complications. This reality was built with intricacies, with complexities on purpose, because this is a vehicle for our soul's growth. These incarnations are vehicles for our soul's growth. So growth doesn't happen when you're just sitting on the beach. I mean, it can, but you know what I mean? Growth doesn't happen if you're just in la la land the entire time. Growth doesn't happen. Growth happens through experiences. Growth happens through our reactions to those experiences. And that's how this world is built. Right. It's just a catalyst for change, what the Ascension Guide just said. It is just a catalyst for change. So when you're thinking about all of this, I want you to remember, yes, like and subscribe. I want you to remember not to judge yourself. When I just said all of that, remember I said that's not to judge yourself. Yes, you need healing. Okay. Yes, you need to work on yourself. Yes, you need to grow. And the healing part is not just to heal, just to be healed. It's to heal to grow, because as you heal, you become more aware. You become a bigger eye in the forest. Okay, right now you might be a tiny little eye in the forest. You want to be a big eye in the forest to have full awareness, to really understand that is ascension and remembrance of who you really are. You remember what I said. I don't remember when I said that over the past week. That the process of ascension is an uncovering and a remembering, because we're already actually an ascended being. It's just we forgot. We have that amnesia. So if you start to uncover those things, start to unpack those things, then you can begin to soar. Then you can begin to see, and as you see more, you suffer less. I'm going to say that again. As you see more, you suffer less, because the suffering comes from our acceptance of the illusion, and the suffering comes from our acceptance of all the crazy things that are going on inside of us that we choose to not see, and then we want to be a victim instead. That creates suffering. All right, looking at the comments there. Yes, yes. So I want you guys to witness your own emotions. Also, be the eye in your own forest, using the forest as a metaphor for your body, using the forest as a metaphor for your vessel, meaning also including your energy system. Be awareness itself. Be aware of what's going on, your emotional state. Be aware of what's going on in your mental state. Be aware of what's going on in your body, and that is mindfulness. That is mindfulness, but very deep mindfulness. And if you practice that more often, remember, knowledge is power. If you practice that more often, then you will see yourself for who you really are. You will see the world for who you really are. You will see the entire forest. You will be the eye in the forest, not just in yourself, but everything starts here. Once you see yourself, you can see everything else because guess what? Everything is just a mirror of you. Mm, message. Everything is just a mirror of you. Your life is just a mirror of you. So remember that there is nothing outside of you watching, judging, pointing, the punishing. Understand when it comes to punishment, there is nothing outside punishing you because you did something, but there is cause and effect. We do have cause and effect, and this is the power of our choices and decisions. So if you choose to do something that then creates a domino effect and leads to something else, and that ends up feeling like a punishment, well, that was a cause and effect. But it's not because some God out there said, hey, you did this. The universe does not judge, the divine does not judge. It has set everything in motion and allows it to play out and puts you in place to allow you to play your role and allow you to be. This is why we have free will. We are put in play in this video game. We are characters in this video game. We are put in play and we are allowed to make our choices and move throughout. And remember, there are always cause and effect. Like I always say, the choices that you make today dictate your future. And the choices that you made yesterday dictate today, and so on and so forth. That's how it works. It's cause and effect. And so when you start to see things as that and not as something above here, everything is within it. Everything is within you. Everything starts from within. Every single thing. So Sharisa says suffering feels like what? Oops. Suffering feels like to me illusion and perception based. Yes. 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 It is an illusion. And it is also perception because we don't have to suffer if we don't want to suffer. And this is what a lot of ancient um, spiritual paths, such as Buddhism, and there's many others that really worked toward ending suffering through perception, because that's really what it is. It's through perception, and I'm not going to go down that road because my mind's going crazy. But I was going to go left. I was going to go left. All right. So anyway, there are a lot of of a whole nother tangent, but there are a lot of uh, beliefs similar to that, and that is true. That is true. And like I said, there are I would say in every religion that I have reviewed anyway, and I've reviewed most religions because I've extensively studied religion itself for a very long time since I was about 14 years old. So and I'm 47 now, so that was a long time. But most religions have truth at the core of them. The problem is the organization of the religion and man's involvement, human involvement, and then it becomes lies over time become truth. And then that's why we have the amount of incorrect information and people not being able to fully see the reality. And this is why, again, why the Book of Rasheeda and Mystic Temple is back right now to give that knowledge and information. So the root of suffering is attachment. Yes, yes. And so I want to end now with just a reminder about everything that has been said today and to really start applying that to your life. So I have a question that I want you to ask yourself, okay? And I want you to write this down, journal it later, whatever you want to do. But what is one thing that you've been judging about yourself recently that the I would simply accept? Meaning the I of that force, awareness itself, divinity itself, knowing that it doesn't judge. What's something that you've been judging about yourself recently that you know now understanding this, that the I would just simply accept, divinity would just accept because it is what it is. It's not good or bad. And when you come up with that answer, I want you to start working towards in yourself non judgment on those things, coming to the realization and recognition that everything is. And there's no need to judge yourself. There's no need for shame. There's no need for anything. There is sometimes a need for action to if there's something that you don't like about yourself, change it. You have the opportunity to do that. You have the ability to do that. Why? Because you're in control. And there is no savior. There is no nothing that's going to swoop in and save you. You have to save yourself. Okay? And there isn't really a need to save you because there's nothing actually wrong. That's the other thing that you need to understand. There's nothing, it's not good or bad, it just is. And the only question that matters is, am I growing? That's the only question that matters. Remember the three pillars of life that the cosmic collective consciousness showed us. It is your vessel, your soul growth, and your life purpose. Those are the only three things that actually matter in your life. Everything else is supplementary. Those are the only three things that matter to your incarnation, let's be clear, to your incarnation. So, are you growing? Did this help me grow? If I didn't enjoy this, how is there something that I can learn from this to make sure that I don't create another cause and effect that creates something like this, because everything comes from in here. Okay, so keep that in mind. Remember that. And I'm going to end with a prayer in the divine language, Zor Kumti, which essentially means peace be unto you. Now, before you go, though, don't go yet. We have a song prepared for you so that you can listen for Metasoul music. And it is as follows. See you guys later. Bye.
No judge in the sky, no throne above you. You are the source, moving right through you. I in the forest, open and clear. See what is here and let it appear. Watch it come, watch it go. No guilt on the skin, no shame in the soul. Breathe it in, take your role. This wild little world is yours to hold. You are the divine. You are the divine. The eye in the forest. The eye in the forest. See without guilt, move without shame. You are the source, and you know your name. You are the divine. Branches and roots falling in line. Every small choice leaves a mark in time. If the ground is thirsty, bring water back. If the path is broken, make your own track. No waiting for rescue, no borrowed light. You shape the grove by how you act. Watch it come, watch it go. No guilt on the skin, no shame in the soul. Breathe it in, take your role. This living whole is yours to grow. You are the divine. You are the divine. The eye in the forest. The eye in the forest. See without guilt, move without shame. You are the source, and you know your name. You are the divine. Not above you, not apart. Right here, beating right through the heart. The one who sees, the one who knows, the one who tends, the one who grows. You are the divine. You are the divine. The eye in the forest. The eye in the forest. The eye in the forest. See you without guilt, move without shame. Take your own ground, and tend the flame.